Social media for photographers, I'm no expert. Maybe that's what we'll talk about today. Don't mind the geese honking out here. I scared them all off the beach, unfortunately, but I wanted to just talk real quick about social media and being a photographer and how the heck to navigate it, because there's a lot of times where I feel like I have no idea what it's all about. So like most people these days, I've got social media accounts all over. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube now, and I find that it's really difficult to figure out what the best place to put my pictures at to maximize visibility and who's gonna be able to see and enjoy my work. And I started wondering, in today's day and age with Twitter and Instagram and everything else, is it actually worth having a regular blog and doing regular posts, or should I just share my work up individually right there on Instagram? Instagram and Twitter right now are absolutely my favorites, and you know, when I look at the two of them, Instagram is awesome because it's a great source of inspiration and I get to see some amazing photographers' work. And I really look forward to popping open that feed every day and seeing what new stuff has been put up. Twitter I like because I've met some great people and I use it almost like a news aggregator for myself, where I can just follow people or companies or interests that I have and really use that to see what's going on in the industry. Not just the industry, but just with interests I have and things I'm interested in. And so the one that suffers the most, which isn't really totally social media anymore, but that would be my blog. I find that even though I've got a website for my gallery work and stuff like that, and I've got my blog where I have every intention of putting together posts on a regular basis of all my new work, I just forget about it so often and I never get around to pushing stuff up there, and that's something I need to do better of. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say as far as what do you guys use for your social media, what are your preferences, and what do you find that you get the most engagement from? So we've been talking social media today, and I thought I'd ask the expert because I know of anyone who is on social media all the time, it's this one. So she's gonna have the answers for us.
I'm not.
So tell me, when it comes to social media, what is the best place for a photographer to share their work and get the most engagement from an audience?
No clue.
No clue? You're a social media expert.
No, I'm not.
She's clearly lying right now, because she is a social media expert. I mean, the amount of hours she puts in on Facebook, telling us she might have written the game, written the code for Facebook.
I don't think so. This way.
We're just out for a little walk. I thought I'd ask her what she thinks. What do you use? Facebook?
Facebook?
Twitter?
No.
No Twitter for her. That's good, because then she doesn't see all my stuff I post there, right? Right?
Yeah.
Do you use Instagram?
No.
No
I have an
Instagram.
account. I don't use it.
Has an Instagram account but doesn't use it.
Don't understand it.
Doesn't understand it. Well, that makes two of us. I use mine all the time, but I have no clue how to best utilize it. So, but I do like the format. How about places like Tumblr?
No.
You don't do YouTube?
No.
You do now.
I watch your videos. That's all I do on there. Emma
right.
does YouTube.
Emma,
Emma watches
you're a YouTube expert?
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about YouTube? What makes a good video? What makes a video that you want to watch on YouTube?
Camera videos?
You like watching camera videos? You are my daughter, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, yeah, but I'm 16.
You're not.
Yeah. Don't believe him. It's true. Just don't believe him. I like Subway. Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee, so that's short.
There you have it. YouTube expert that's 16 but is really short because she said she drinks a lot of coffee. Not true.
It is true, so don't believe him.
Say goodnight.
Good night. It is true that I'm 16, so don't believe him. And I'm 4, so don't believe me. Oh my God, I'm gonna be 5.
Yep. So I guess we haven't solved social media yet. We'll take another look when I sit down this evening. Social media, guys. Like I said earlier, this whole thing is a bit of a puzzle, a bit of a mystery, right? You know, there's so many options out there, from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, all of these places to spend time diving into. And I really don't think it's possible to hit all of them at the same time effectively. I really feel like each one has its own specific use, right? I don't think there's a way that you can be everywhere all at once. And I also feel like certain mediums require a different approach and have different strengths and weaknesses. So, you know, I look at it, for me primarily, I use Instagram for sharing my photos. As I mentioned earlier, I do have my website and my blog, which is ultimately where I try and I want to do most of my posting and sharing, but it's really tough to drive traffic back to those places regularly, especially when you don't have a huge following to start with, right? And so I use Instagram to share up favorite pictures I've taken, you know, over time. And then when I remember, or when I get a little more time, I try and sit down and put together some blog posts and things like that. Twitter, I talked about earlier. I love Twitter in the way it's so easy to have conversations with people. The other one that I didn't mention earlier was Tumblr. I used to have a Tumblr site. I used to use it all the time. And what I found with it, though, is that it just didn't really feel like you were part of a community. In a lot of ways, it felt like just having another blog. In the end, I think what it boils down to, you have to find the one or two or couple social media platforms that really click with you the most, and where you find an audience and a community that makes the most sense to you and that you enjoy being a part of. Find those areas and stick with them, and then put your work there and be consistent about just one or two places rather than trying to spread yourself thin over everything. Take care, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like buttons down below. Hit me up with any comments, and of course, get those questions rolling in for that Q&A, because it should be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys. Although there's a lot of junk that starts to show up there. Nowhere near as much junk that gets posted on Facebook, though.